Plaintiff Luciana Bowen says the defendant is her uncle, and he's a troublemaker who once stole his sister's car and drove from St. Louis to California. Luciana claims every time the defendant returns from an adventure, he has a new wife, and he's been married 5 times. Luciana is suing him for wrecking her motorcycle. Defendant Kenny Kelly says Luciana is not what she appears to be because even though she seems like a good church-going girl, she's really a member of a motorcycle gang. Kenny admits that he wrecked Luciana's bike, but he believes she is overcharging for the damages.
Start with you.
First of all, let me tell you, my uncle, he's very funny. He's going to try and use his humor to wiggle his way out of trouble.
All right.
But
never works for me, but go ahead.
Great. I mean, he's been messing up for a long time. First documented is 13. He stole my grandmother's car and drove down to Clarendon, Arkansas to go see a little girl. And then he wrecked the car. That was at 13.
Did he joke his way out of it?
Well, I think he did because he's still alive.
All right.
Grandma didn't kill him. Then years later, when he was an adult, he stole his sister's car and drove from St. Louis, Missouri to California. He said he just felt like getting away. And, you know.
Did she get the car back?
I don't know. I don't think she did. So, I mean, it probably wrecked that one too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, you know, every time he goes on an adventure, he comes back. He has a new wife. He's been married 5 times. He has, you know, he's been in and out of jail. So I really haven't grown up around him much. But, you know, he's kind of messed up this time, and I want him to be responsible.
Okay. All right. Sir, hear from you.
Your Honor.
Now, first of all, let me tell you, we have a limited amount of time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I want you to tell me, like you've told those 5 wives, you won't keep me long.
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Well, Your Honor, don't let my niece fool you. She's standing up here like she's all sanctified and stuff, and you know, my niece, she has 2 sides to herself also. She's like a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. Okay, I can tell you an incident where my niece, okay, she was riding her motorcycle one day and the officers pulled her over, and for some matter, she got into it with the officer and she ended up going to jail. She's in a motorcycle gang. Another incident is where my niece, which is her daughter, she did something on the internet, and my niece drove all the way across town to my sister's house, blocked the driveway, stormed into the house. Where's she at? Where's she at? I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. She's storming through the house trying to find her daughter. My sister's in between her, so she's swinging at her daughter. She and accidentally hit my sister. She was so in a hysterical way where my brother-in-law, he came to the house. She grabbed him and pinned him to the wall. He had to hold her on the floor until she calmed down. So,
did the daughter act right after that?
Well, she's acting right now, so far.
And you didn't hit her, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, just put a little fear in her.
No, but she hit my sister, though. Yes, sir.
By accident.
By accident.
By accident. And which is why we're here, because of an accident.
Yeah, we're going to see whether that's what we're going to see. We're going to see. You got a little slick in it. You're right. You're right. He got a little slick in it. Tell me about this motorcycle he damaged and he's claiming already that it was an accident. Tell me what happened.
Okay, so I'm at church with my boyfriend, trying to praise the Lord. Phone's ringing.
So you are sanctified?
Yes, I am.
All right.
And the phone is ringing. It's a number that I don't recognize because Uncle Kenny's never called me on my cell phone before, so I didn't answer the phone. And after several times, then my daughter calls me from home, and I'm thinking something's wrong because she doesn't interrupt, you know, when I'm in church. So I answer the phone, and she's like, "Mom, you know, Uncle Kenny and Uncle Ricky are here, you know, and they want to ride your motorcycle." And I'm like, "I'm in church." And she puts them on the phone, and, you know, like, hey, niece, you know, let me ride your motorcycle. I was like, "Kenny, do you even know how to ride?" "Man, niece, I've been riding since before you was born." I'm like, "You know what, Kenny, you just go ahead, don't damage the bike." We get home from church, open the garage, bike is parked. There's, the bike is just messed up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, what happened? So I'm calling him. He's not answering the phone. I'm calling my other uncle. He's not answering the phone. So I go over to my grandma's house, and lo and behold, there's Uncle Kenny outside. Man, I hit a pothole. Man, you know, I don't know where that pothole came from. And said that he dropped the bike in the pothole. The bike went down. I ride. I've ridden for a long time. That was not a pothole fall on that bike. It was something else. So, you know, he was like, niece, you know, I'm gonna pay you for the bike. And then when I started calling him again, he's not answering the phone. Like, his phone's cut off. Or, you know, I guess he was running out of minutes or whatever.
When was that?
Probably about a couple months ago.
That's the last time he told you he would pay? He still?
Right, because I tried to give him time because he said he wasn't working. He told me, he was like, you know,
A couple of months ago, he agreed that he would pay.
Right.
All right. Sir, tell me what happened.
Well, Your Honor, okay, as my niece said, I did call her and ask her to use her bike, in which I did ride her bike.
Yeah, she should feel privileged. You didn't ask your aunt. You just took hers. And who else did he take? Whose car?
Grandma's. His mom's.
Took grandmama's without asking. So tell her.
Yes, sir.
Did you a favor. Go
ahead. All right, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I remember I was telling you about her temper, Your Honor. Now, that's why I didn't answer the phone, because I was afraid.
You weren't going to do anything to him, though, were you? No, go ahead.
I don't know. Your Honor, my brother and I, it was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day out that day. And my brother was like, well, let's ride. See if Luciana let you ride her bike. I said, okay. So we went and got the bike, and I proceeded from her house to my mother's house to meet my brother. And from there, we rode around a little bit. It had been a long time since I rode a bike, but I still knew how to ride. I was taking off. I was going across the intersection, not even going 10, 15 miles an hour. And I don't know what it was that was in the road. It was something that was in the road, because like I said, I wasn't going no high rate of speed or anything like that. it was a little hump, a slump or something in the road. And next thing I know, within seconds, the bike had flipped over, and I was on the ground and the bike was on the ground. And my brother had to help me lift the bike up. And
Did you agree to pay her?
Sir?
Did you agree to?
Yes, sir. I agreed to pay her, which I told at the time I wasn't working, because I just relocated.
Has he given you any money?
No, he offered to cut my son's hair and my boyfriend's hair, and you can see my boyfriend don't need haircuts. So.
All right. Your only defense today is you can't afford to pay it, or what's your defense?
Well, my defense is that, for the damages, I don't believe that the damages was amounted up to that much, Your Honor.
You have pictures and estimates? Did you get an estimate?
No, sir. I haven't seen the bike since the day of the accident.
Okay, but you could have asked to allow someone to come and look at it so that you can have your own estimate if you doubted hers. What is this, ma'am?
That's the turn signal.
Okay, what is that part? Yeah, it is pretty damaged.
That's the, those are the fairings that once part of it's cracked, the whole thing has to be replaced.
Yeah, sir. This bike is probably, what type of bike is it?
It's a Kawasaki ZZR 600.
Yeah, probably about $8,000.
Initially, it was around $7,000.
Right, okay. All right, I'm convinced, sir, that it's that the estimate is accurate. So I'm going to order that you pay her $2,959. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I mean, I still love you, but you know I love to ride, and I just kind of feel like the family was kind of on your side, and I just felt like I had to do this to have you be responsible.
Well, and niece, I still love you, and I hate that I did that to your bike, and I was wrong, so I got to, you had to do what you had to do, so I had to do what I had to do.
I appreciate that.
And I apologize. I love you.
I love you too.
Right. Can I have a hug?